Okay. What do we got this morning? Hanami cats. Where are we at with this? Kawasaki-san, our young carver in Kobe, she's doing the main carving on this. She has now finished the key block, and she returned to me the second key block, the one that has the cherry blossom carving on it. And with these two keys finished, the black outlines and the pink outlines, I can now join some of these together. And I've done that yesterday, 2 days ago, and sent her the next batch of color blocks for doing. It's going to be a multi-stage process. She had to do the key, oops, what did I just drop? She had to do the key block first, and she couldn't start the cherry carving until the key block was finished because they have to mate. And now she's done key block A and key block 2, and now that's done, I've mated those two and created a transfer to send her the next block, which will be the block for the pattern on this cat. Then only when those 3 blocks are done can we mate the black one, the pink one, and then do things like this blue block. So it's really a multi-stage process, and she's going to go through it step by step by step. Then when the 3 main blocks that show the area of things are done, then she can get all the rest of the key colors done. The block for the blue mat, the green background, all the kimonos, whatever. So she's busy now beavering away at block number 3. But there's also a small problem here. When we sent her the key block to do, are we okay? Paper's out. Yes, paper's out. Paper's out for 2 people upstairs today there. Paper's out. When we sent her the key block to do, she called me back the next morning and said, "Are you kidding?" I mean, she's speaking Japanese. She was polite, but she said basically, "Are you kidding me? What are we doing here?" Because Jed and his calligraphy teacher, Jack, have created some calligraphy here. And this one's no problem. Anyami neko. It's a pun on nya, the sound that cats make here in Japan. That's okay. But then the smaller cartouche is, they've done calligraphy with brush stroke, scratch stroke calligraphy, and if I put my finger in here for size comparison, you can see the level of dimensions we're talking about here. She just said, no way can I do this on this kind of wood, because I gave her a cherry block. It's okay, I just told her, okay, chop it out. Take it off the key block, just chop it away, and I'll take care of it here in another way. And that's exactly what we're going to do here today. I've prepared again another tracing of the calligraphy. I'm going to put it on this transfer sheet. And Awayama-san, over the past few days, prepared for me a special little wood block. And you know where this is going? This is boxwood. And we don't need the whole thing, and of course we can't get, the boxwood doesn't come that big, but this is a beautiful, beautiful piece of boxwood, and this one is new to us. This is sourced from China. We've never had this before. We've been using boxwood from Mikurajima, which is the place in Japan where it's most commonly found. And we've got just enough here that I can put this down. When they're making the print at the end of the day, we can put registration marks on, and there's the place where this calligraphy will go. So we need it to be this long because of the registration marks. We can't make it just this short. There'd be no way to register it out. So first step, carve some registration marks on here. Aoyama-san is the guy who you used to hear me refer to him as Lee-san. He's our staff member. He's the one who has been working here. He helped me build the second floor shop 5 years ago. 5 years ago. Then we built the shop down here this last year. Someone's going up the stairs. Who would that be at this time of day? Sugu-san won't be in today. It's probably Karen. Anyway, Aoyama-san's the guy here. He does he's the handyman kind of guy around here. He helped me build the shop, and these days he's working on wood blocks, making blocks for us. And he's doing a really, really good job. We're getting wood from all over the place now. Okay, the usual hammer warning. We're going to make one small, quick, short, sharp tap. If you're new here, please be aware. There's going to be a loud noise here. If you're on headphones, take them off or turn your sound down. One tap, I'll give you a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, going upstairs, probably Karen, and she's the lady from Texas who's here, helping us out for a week or so, doing different jobs and doing some working upstairs on her own projects, getting a chance to watch the printers work and stuff. And she's been doing some test printing on blocks that she brought with her, and she'll be doing some more test printing, I guess, perhaps today actually, on one of our blocks. She's going to do some owls. But also what she started doing is she has been working up to now on her own projects on Sheena plywood. So she asked if we had some scraps of cherry wood that we had that she could do some test carving with cherry, and we found some for her the other day. And she spent yesterday tracing and drawing and preparing something, and she started carving cherry last night. All right, so there's our 2 registration marks. We have prepared, this is just a copy of the print to get the correct layout. And I have held on my, it's a bit quicker to straighten it out. Here. This is a laser printout of Jed's calligraphy, or it's Jack's calligraphy, Jack Stoneman, who is Jed's calligraphy teacher. And this is just for the position. This will not be pasted down, just that little part there will be pasted down. Let's find out where I should put my glue. Coming down the stairs again. Is it Karen? Is it Suga-san? Who is it up there? I don't know. We'll see any minute now. Oh, I know, I forgot to put the other camera on. It is Karen. I thought the heavy footsteps, so I thought it could have been Suga-san, but she's not supposed to come in today, so I thought it was you. I'm learning all the footstep sounds, you know.
Mine squeak when it's raining.
Another rainy day, not good, you know. It's going to it's no disaster for our business, but it's definitely, the shop is way quieter.
Definitely.
And for the shops along the street who don't have internet things, who don't have websites, and who don't have fans and whatever, rainy days are a disaster. The little clothing shop at the end, Sakura, he's just, oh my God, another rainy day, lays off staff or whatever.
They have really interesting clothes.
It's a bit of a bizarre place, now. So the guy's in Israeli who's living here and working here in Japan. He had 5 or 6 or 7 shops, gradually shrunk down. Now he's got 2. One here and one right beside the Lawson convenience store. It's the same guy. And he was here last night, he was chatting with me, he says, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, what a disaster this year, so much rain.
Is it normally a lot drier in the springtime?
Well, springtime, spring, there's rainy days and dry days, and we have a rainy season, that's coming up in June. This is not rainy season rain, this is just spring rain, which happens in temperate climates. So it's not like it doesn't happen, you should be prepared for it, but it's been a dreary spring. But for us, the effect is minimal because people come anyway. If you get a pre-party reservation, it doesn't matter if it's a good day or a bad day.
Yeah. You probably already talked about what you're doing, but I think I see boxwood and a cartouche.
It's Hanami Cats, and the calligraphy part of it, Jed and Jack got a bit over enthusiastic, or whatever word you want to use. And they got pretty, I think Jack drew this at 1000% scale. By the time he shrunk it down onto the print, and Kawasaki-san and Kobe, she called me and said, like, I forget her exact words, but the gist of was, are you kidding with this, or something like this?
Look at that. Oh. There's all this sort of dry brush stuff. Are you going to mimic the dry brush
I don't know.
business?
I'm going to, first step is just get the clearing done, and then second step, go for the calligraphy, and then see what's left, if I've still got any eyes left or whatever. And without a microscope, it's just impossible, And this is the boxwood that Sean-san brought when he made his last trip to Hong Kong to visit his family. He brought back some boxwood that he found. I guess he's asked his family to start hunting around for wood and stuff. And they found some boxwood, and some of it quite large. And they sent the first few pieces over, and it looks okay. So we'll see. I didn't position the camera on your chair there. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You're out of view here, but
people can wonder.
But I just mentioned, when I heard you going upstairs a few minutes ago, I'd mentioned that this is Karen, and probably what she's doing today is perhaps doing some test printing on the owls, or maybe doing some more carving on the cherry block that you started yesterday. She got a piece of cherry, something about like this, small piece like this, and drew a design for it. And then I missed it. I missed the big moment. She came and showed me the result, but I missed it. She did a peel. And you didn't let me watch.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But it was a really good peel.
Yeah. Pics or it didn't happen.
I know.
Have you got the piece that you peeled off?
It's probably still in the wastebasket.
You must have been thinking about it, because when you finished, you came and showed me. Look at this, look at this, look at this. She was so proud when she finished it.
And the reason I didn't let anybody watch was because I was certain it would be a disaster. It being my first peel.
No, it's okay. No, it's funny. We should have saved it for this morning or something, So come to Mokohangan and join Dave's peel school, Now she's digging in the wastebasket to find it, to prove it actually happened,
Pretty ridiculous. Oh, here. This must be good.
Look at this, Jed and Jack. Oh my God, what have they done to me here? Okay, there it is. Let's zoom in so you can see what's going on here, get some sense of the scale. Let me get this ready.
See? See? There it is.
Okay, hang on, a few things are going on. Okay. Where are we here?
There.
There she is. This is her peeled piece. So I see the sort of part at the top where you rubbed your finger and then peeled it off and it came back. So what was the score? If you have to self-check it.
If I self-scored myself, I'd say probably 9. Probably 9. 9.2.
If you don't say so yourself.
If I don't say so myself. What's the peanut gallery say?
I got the wrong glasses here. I can't see this. Oh, last known gods here in Tokyo. So. Peel party. This peel is like an itchy scab. I prefer a pool party than a peel party. If someone says 10, you can't give her 10. We're only seeing the. Show me the money. He says, I heard your footsteps go upstairs to show.
Yeah.
And Jacques in Holland, he says, I find it incredible. You can hear people walking up your steps to the second floor, and you trust that it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, well, of course. I mean, who else is going to go up there? I mean, no, really. I mean, the door wasn't open all night.
People
we do
think
lock
the
the
party
doors.
is up there.
That happens sometimes. So. And if I'd have heard 4 people go up, I would have said, let me go and see what's going on. But at this time of day, when the staff is coming, I've occasionally forgotten. Now that we have 2 keys, we've got the ground floor key and the second floor key. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I'm here late and the staff just goes home. And I've shut here and gone out for dinner, occasionally forgetting to lock the one that goes upstairs. And nothing happens. I mean, nothing happens. I mean, look at the other shops. Do people go along all night checking the door to try and break into doors? Nobody does that. Nobody touches a door. So I don't know. Other societies might be different. I don't know. So.
Yeah, and Japan may one day change, so that's more of an issue.
Can you use the peel to make paper string? Now, you could use that. I mean, we've talked about this before. After peeling a good one, there's probably enough thickness left in that gumpi to do it again. If you flatten it carefully, spray it down, start again, and do it again. There's enough in there. Any successful peel is a 10, it says here. So.
Who's that from?
Uncle Ernie.
Uncle Ernie. Hi, Uncle Ernie.
Should we turn around? If you can set it for a minute, let's turn it. You can talk to
I'll
people.
sit for a while. I'm going to go get busy as soon as Cameron shows up.
You can talk to people. You can turn that off or on if you want. Leave that one on. Might be that's the one right there. That's at the bottom. It says I'm at FaceTime camera. You can just turn it off if you want.
Turn that one on.
No, you have to click the eyeball. Yeah, so it's up to you as you wish.
Ken.
We had a real nice day yesterday. Tuesday, day off now, all of us. I'm upstairs. You were doing some test printing, test carving yesterday?
Yesterday I was just helping out in the
Oh, that's right.
office
You're
a little
packing
bit.
prints. This lady was packing prints yesterday. So new Dolly Hunger prints and stuff.
Yeah, and I made all the labels for the ones that hadn't been packed yet, and they're just lined up on the
Yep, we're all
desk
good.
upstairs.
I don't know if the staff will have time to work on that today because it's a full party schedule. But
Did you ever find the source of reliable Gampi that you wanted? Trogdor the Memenator queries.
Gampi is touch and go. I mean, there is Gampi being made all over Japan because it's not just used for printmaking. So people use it in other fields as well. So there are still quite a number of people making it. The problem from our point of view is that we don't have a direct source from a Gampi maker. So we're buying our Gampi paper from wholesalers. And the lots change. The stuff that we get from a single wholesaler will actually be made by different people at different times. So there's a big variation from lot to lot. And it's something, it's a bit on our list of things to do. We really just have to go behind the wholesaler, find a good maker, and deal with him directly to try and make it more consistent what we're getting. So you've seen me complain about peels or something, or that was too thin, or that was too thick, or something. So, but it's waiting for me to do that, actually. Just hunt up a good maker and buy it directly. There's lots of things it's used for. I don't know. We saw this recently on Reddit artisan videos recently. People have been posting videos of a guy in America somewhere who's doing restoration of old paintings, like a Renaissance era paintings and things. And one of his main, the things that he uses, materials, is Gampi paper from Japan. So it's used for a lot of different things. So. But consistency is a thing. Well, I didn't see them. I'm in the screen? Am I in the view or?
You're a little bit off. I was wondering about repositioning just to
Okay, go ahead.
try to.
Yep.
Make sure I turn it the right way.
This is the new Tsuge boxwood from China, and it's very smooth, very buttery, but I'm not quite sure how hard it's going to be. We'll see. So yesterday, then you did your first carving on cherry.
I did.
So what is it, doctor? How do you do? What's the diagnosis?
I think I'm spoiled. It's harder and stiffer, but
You say you're spoiled, you mean?
well, by the cherry. It's easier to, like the Sheena that I've been using has a very a very thin top layer, and it's really easy, even if your line isn't all that thin, to just pop that layer off.
But are you using Sheena that's actually made for printmaking, or just some random piece?
No, it's made for printmaking, and it's bonded with a waterproof glue, so it doesn't delaminate or anything when it gets wet.
But even then, it's been popping off pieces.
Yeah, it pops off just from the force.
Well, how fine lines are you talking about? Have you just tried to go beyond what it should be done for Sheena?
Oh, maybe. Maybe.
She's gesturing with her fingers. We can't.
I'm looking at it so I can estimate it. That's how my mental measurement works. 2 millimeters.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's been trouble.
Sometimes. I mean, it pops off, and so I'll just grab the piece and a little bit of waterproof glue and glue it back on.
The cherry that we gave you yesterday, Aoyama-san, that you found upstairs, it's really not key block level of hardness, that cherry.
Yeah. But it's thick. There's no
It's dense.
layer of stuff it's actually the top layer.
It's not going to chip off, you mean?
Yeah. It's like half a centimeter or so almost, and so it'll stay on. So Gami asked earlier if it still holds true that the gampi plant can actually be cultivated, but it's a wild one. Can't actually be cultivated, but it's wild.
I don't know what I'm saying. How do they make gampi paper if people go hunting in the forest for it? That doesn't seem to ring true because there's so much gampi paper made. It can't be just.
People are asking for a zoom too. Let's see if I can do that.
Thumbs up. Okay.
Is it this little button right here, the silver?
Yeah. If you're going too close, it loses focus, so you've got to watch what you're doing.
That looks better. Yeah. Trapdoor's happy about that. Mutabori Ningen asks, is that Sutabori you're doing right now?
No, I'm just hacking away outside wood so that when it comes time, it's sort of stibori. Stibori is when you've got a line to carve, and to avoid putting too much pressure on the waste wood, you do an outside cut first like this. And then now you do your actual real carving. And now that because there's an outside cut, the wood, you can see what's happening. The wood is popping up out of the way. So it's very little pressure on the line left. So this is this cut is called the stibori cut, throwaway cut. So sort of that's what I'm doing. Really, I'm just, rather than try and cut the calligraphy first, right on the line, and then do the clearing, which might damage the line, I'm going to do a bunch of the clearing first. And then when I do the cut lines, it should be no pressure. So it's kind of stibori, but not stibori in the sense of a single line that's thrown away. So yeah, half sort of.
I'm going to have to employ that technique, I think.
We chatted about this last time I did this when I was starting the calligraphy for the octopus. The point that this is sort of a preparation work for carving a bunch of calligraphy. It's work that doesn't need to be done by an experienced guy, and that we assume, or we think, or we guess But this kind of stuff would be done by less experienced people, getting it ready, prepped, and the main guy would then come in and sit down and do it quickly. And it would make sense. There's no way that a really experienced carver in a multi-man workshop should waste his time doing the work that I'm doing right now. You know? Just get it prepped. Then the main guy comes in. I think maybe it's like surgeons and stuff, whatever. A lower level surgeon can come in and open things up and get it ready. Then the top guy comes in and snaps on his rubber gloves and starts digging in the brain or something like this. I don't know what.
We're talking about the scope camera. Perhaps we should not mention the microscope camera.
Well,
2 frames per second, etc.
yeah, and the company that made it is fighting me about that. They're saying it's me that's wrong and that I'm using it all wrong. So we'll see where it ends up. And I understood that I followed their instructions, but we'll see. We'll do some more testing. So.
Somebody's saying possibly it was just very bad drivers from Mac.
That's what I think it is. They've written their software. I said so. I don't know. They've written their software clearly for Windows, and this is a ported thing. It's even got Xbox and all that stuff, whatever. So I think it's just bad programming. They don't understand how to use the built-in core. The modern Macs have a bunch of what they call core audio or core video and whatever that are built into the system itself. And if programmers use those, you get very, very high performance. But when programmers try to write their own audio modules or video modules or whatever, then you get a whole different level of performance. So my amateur guess is that that's what's going on here. And it's also a lighting issue, which is what they brought up. If the lighting is not good enough in a video situation, then this camera is adjusting its frame rate to adjust for that. So if it's not enough light, it says, okay, I can't get an image. We'll hold this open. We'll hold the quote shutter unquote open to get enough light. But if there's not enough light, then it can't do that 29 times per second or whatever. So the light level available is going to adjust the frame rate. But I've got what I thought was quite a bright light shining here. And if that camera can't get enough light in that circumstance to do that more than twice a second, then I don't know, then we have a problem. But, you know. But yes, stronger illumination may help this. So we'll see. We'll test some more.
Earlier, Hanson __ says, I got my crow on the shrine gate in the mail today. It's gorgeous. Thank you so much.
Kawai-san. Kawai-san printed that new batch. Yes. He was not all that confident about it, but it came out very well. Thank you. This is very buttery, very, very buttery. I'm not sure if I'm totally happy with this, but let's see how it goes.
At one point in Austin, there was a lot of aspen wood, of all things, available in places like Home Depot, which is a big, construction materials store. And I got some, and it was also very waxy. It was not that hard, but you could tell, like when you were trying to cut it or saw it, that it was just sort of slippery.
Did it cut smoothly, or was it all sort of fibrous? I thought that was a very fibrous wood, that when you were trying to use your ice ski, whatever, it just came up in fiber.
Yeah, I was using it for a furniture project, actually, not for block carving.
Because some of those, the ones that Matt Brown uses, basswood, linden, that kind of type, it's really, really fibrous, and it doesn't seem to bother him, but it'll drive me crazy.
Buttery as in too soft.
I'm saying buttery is in smooth. It's smooth, really like, just, I can't tell.
Slips, the knife slips through it, kind of.
Slides through it, so there's no grain that's apparent here. Normal wood has sort of, you can sort of see it here. There's stripes, dark, light, but I can't even tell where they are here where I'm cutting. The extreme example, if you're trying to cut a piece of pine, there's these dark brown, light brown, dark brown, white. It goes ka-chung, ka-chung, ka-chung.
Yeah, and
because they're night and day different.
Yeah, they vary completely in hardness.
So cherry doesn't have too much of a variation there, and boxwood seems to have almost none. So. That design you started yesterday was pretty complex. Are you going to be able to get that done before it's time to go? Not, or are you not going to try and get that far? That crow design, a bird design yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading the stream. I'm sorry.
It looked pretty complex. Is there enough time left for you to get
For me
that
to finish
done?
it?
I don't know.
I don't know. I might
Late nights.
make it time for test print before I leave.
Too fast. I forgot. I keep meaning to check and listen at 8 or 9, but I forget most of
I don't know. I probably did about, maybe 20% of it, 10%, 10 to 20% of it yesterday, and I only worked on it for 3 hours. I could do some carving in the hotel. I'm sure they'd love that.
If it's like this, no one's going to know. It's your persuading that's the problem. I mean, wood chips.
Yeah, wood chips, carpet, wood chips, that combination.
So yesterday I got the blocks finished, the Patreon chibis. The blocks are done, ready for test printing. And Baychan's going to start that tomorrow, I guess. I thought she was coming in today, but I didn't see her. Oh, I know, she's coming in today, but there's nothing in the fridge, that's why.
Oh, she put her dot there and there's nothing in the fridge?
No,
for
she
her?
didn't have a dot there, so that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Her
okay.
job today is to get some paper ready and look at the Patreon chibi blocks, get sorted for that. So. The dots, fridge dot was just you and Susan.
What's on the other side of this wood block?
This one?
Uh-huh.
It's just nothing. Oh,
There's some cherry and something else.
it's a balancing stuff. You can't laminate a block just with one face; it'll warp. We have no intention of using the backside, so Galway and just used a couple of pieces of random cherry just to stabilize the.
Wood chips, just blame the termites. I don't know, I think this hotel is made of steel and plastic.
What we're probably going to find out one day is that these wood chips are rat food or something, and that's why we've been breeding them. You fixed your squeak on your coffee machine. Nobody's confused about my joints anymore.
I just took the lid off here.
Soka.
I can provide some sound effects.
That's all right. That's okay. When it was squeaky, it was like. Oh, wait. See, I was waiting for you. All right, enough already.
He's leaving the lid off. Frozen runner, was this piece going to be slotted into the other block or on itself?
No, that's a good question, actually. So that was one idea to take the key block that's missing this poem, cut a hole in it, and put this piece in. We could have done that, but recently we found so much trouble with that, like the one I did with the Great Wave, because of the difference in moisture absorbency and stuff like that. It's just really difficult to keep them flat. So we're just going to keep it separate. We've cut our own registration marks for this. So at the end of the day, once all these blocks are finished, when the person prints in the key block, they'll print the key block and it won't have nothing in that poem box. And then it has to be one extra printing impression. They will put something on the bench here to hold the paper. They will rub here and just print this poem by itself.
What is the poem?
This poem, this phrase. And I don't know what it is. I haven't taken time and trouble to look at it and read it. It might be on Jack did it for Jed, but it might be on Jed's website, I guess. If someone's curious about this, they can go to ukiwaheroes.com, all one word, ukiwaheroes.com. Look up at the Jikle print section. Jed has the Hanami Cats print up and running on his website. And I would imagine right there on his website, he's got a description of what this lettering is all about and what it says. I haven't
John
bothered
Becker
to
says
watch it.
there once was a man from Nantucket. ...
I'm not sure if Jed's on the stream this morning, and he called me on Skype today while I was setting up, and we had a bit of a chat. He's got some new designs he wants to show and stuff like that. And it might be an interesting idea to toss. So Jed is thinking about a new design. Well, he's not just thinking, he's going to do a new design. Whether it will just be a Giclée print or whether it will make its way down to the woodblock side of things is an open question. And it's based on, I forgot the name, it's Earth something. What's a famous video game from the 1990s, Nintendo, called Earth something? Earth World, Earth Watch, Earth something.
One of the audience probably can help with that.
I forget what it's called.
Earthbound.
Is that what it is? Earthbound, was that it?
Yeah, like 4 people
Yep,
trying
yep, that's it. So Jed's playing with some ideas for a design for that. And he was quite excited about it this morning and showed me interesting stuff. And what he wanted to sort of touch base with was the design he was thinking of, practical in terms of woodblock prints and et cetera, et cetera. And he wasn't quite sure because, as is quite common with him, he tries to put lots and lots of detail and small things in. And when you're working with Photoshop, it's okay, but at the end of the day, like we're finding right here, detail is sometimes a problem. So he just wanted to see what I thought about it. And it's funny enough because he said this is an iconic game. It's one of the most famous games of all time. And he said a number of people, or a number of major polls, have voted this as the best video game of all time.
Oh, wow.
And I went to the Wikipedia page after he hung up and found that's actually true. And I have never, ever heard of it.
Yeah,
I had never heard of it.
Me neither. I'm not all that up on what the
No,
games are.
but at first when he was talking, I'm saying, Jed, is this something new? Like, I haven't heard about this yet. And he said, Dave,
Wow.
This is 1994. He was just guessing. He said 1994. So we went to the web, and yeah, there it was, 1994. And this is a big, old, iconic game.
What kind of game is it?
Well, I'm not sure if I'm the guy to reply here.
Somebody here will tell us. Is it like a shoot 'em up? Oh, JRPG. What's the J?
Japan?
In JRPG.
Japan?
I don't know. Role playing. Japanese role playing game.
Well, it was. It's a Nintendo game created here in Nintendo, and then it went to America later. And I had honestly never, ever, ever heard of this thing, which shows you how little I know about this field, really. And he's like, yeah, this is totally iconic. There's a rabid fan base, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, which I get, okay.
We're talking about Earthbound. Somebody was asking, which game?
Well, one of the first things I had to bring up to Jed about this was that sort of part of the philosophy, is that the right word, that I've been thinking of throughout this Ukiyo Heroes thing that we've been doing for 5 or 6 or 7 years, is that as much as possible, I'd like the prints to be enjoyable and looked at and understandable by people who don't know the games. And that might sound like a silly thing to say. What's the point of making video game parody images if you don't understand the parody? And I get that, of course, that's part of it. But I'm trying to think to the future, and this sounds a bit stupid maybe, I'm trying to think like 200 years in the future, when the game may not be actually part of pop culture anymore, but I would like people still to be enjoying the art, And I may be overthinking this, I don't know, but we now and then get it. We had it yesterday, the day before. Somebody came in the shop, looked at various prints and brought a couple to the counter. One was the tomato reproduction, and one was the Times Burn Bright print. And I asked them, are you a gamer? And they said, no. And they didn't know what this was. They bought it just as an interesting woodblock print. So, and that's the thing that really rings my bell. But I may be demanding too much that all of our work should be understandable without knowing the game. It's a bit paradoxical to say that. So when Jed was showing me the image this morning, that's one of the first things I was thinking about. Jed, what's going on here? I don't get this. What's happening? Because I didn't know the game. Anyway, he's got some interesting concepts, and we'll see where it goes. You may see it on this bench here in a few months. Are they all sharing memories of the game or something, or what? Or it's all,
no,
huh? Who, what, where?
I guess somebody's saying that It used to, or it's also called Mother, or maybe that was the direct
Japanese
translation.
name. That was the Japanese name. It had Mother and then Mother 2, and Mother 2 was westernized and put into American culture as Earthbound. These are things I learned this morning on Wikipedia. Was that somebody outside?
I didn't see.
Somebody, I think, came in. It's always thinking, it's always pushing, thinking, looking at new stuff, new designs, playing with it, drawing.
Oh, so Korengami wants to hear about my Tokyo experiences. Well, it's been pretty limited. I've been just been hanging out here for the most
It's
part.
like me, you never get out of this room, right? Came to Tokyo, and what did you do? Scratch a piece of wood.
I've been waking up early in the morning, not today because it's kind of nasty weather outside, and walking. And so I've seen the cherry blossoms in full swing in Sumida Park by the river. And then again yesterday, they were sort of, some of them are starting to finish up. I made a field trip to Woodlike Matsumura. And I came away with 3 new chisels. And it turned out that wasn't enough chisels. So I ordered another one.
So it's cheaper for you to get them here than buy them over in America or something? Because chisels are not so expensive to ship. It's not like buying wood or something.
It's $20 for shipping.
Yeah.
That's what
From
they,
Matsumura to
yeah,
America, yeah?
Yeah,
Even a chisel.
even a chisel. And, I like instant gratification. It's nice to just walk into the store and look at it and feel it.
Shopping.
And shopping. For tools. I've eaten some really good food. Yesterday, I was kind of wandering around looking for some lunch, and I thought, I don't know, what should I eat? I think I'll eat some sushi for lunch today. And so I asked Google Maps for sushi, and they said, 4.5-star sushi restaurant, 66 feet from here. And so I turned around, and there it was, and went in, and...
Wait, 4.5 star. I mean, it's like, is this Michelin level? What are we talking about?
No, this is Google stars. I don't know what they mean.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what they mean. And it was a very small place with a counter and a couple of small tables, and
It sounds like Michelin level.
Well,
Okay, all right.
it's like she had NHK going on the TV the whole time, so not high class Michelin level.
Okay.
And just one lady working behind the bar, making the fish as I sat there.
Behind the counter, yeah.
Yeah, behind the counter. It's really good.
Are the top sushi places still into this deal that like women can't do this because they bleed once a month or something like this? And isn't it
Oh, I
that
have no
deal
idea.
like the Jiro dreams of sushi? No women are going to pollute our place or stuff. That's still a deal some places?
It may be. I don't know. Even in the States, there aren't very many women behind the sushi counter. The last known god says, I don't think there are any bad restaurants in Tokyo. Best food in the world. I agree.
100% agree with that. But as a rule of thumb, you're pretty safe, I think. there's some bland food. You know, there's a couple of restaurants in this area around here that I would never go back to. Just bland, bland, bland.
141 Ian is asking, do we pay import tax in the U.S. from Japan? I don't think so. I'm not sure.
I know personal imports to America are never stopped by the postage or customs. But commercial things, if you're a company importing from Japan, then your stuff has to be declared. And there are various duties and taxes on different objects, like cars and stuff have different sort of things on them. But for America, the rule is clear. Personal, small-scale imports are just ignored by the postal and customs systems and go straight through. I've never, in all the years we've been doing this, never heard of an American customer ever having a shipment stopped.
Where's Cameron? He's late.
Maybe it rained on a railroad track or something. That train of his seems to be the weakest, most susceptible train to lateness in the whole country. He's giving the country a bad name, you know. Japanese trains are world renowned for being on time all the time.
Uh-huh.
And he shows up with this cock and bull story about my train was late today. And I'm like, yeah, what country are you living in? You know, give me another one. But then he does bring those late slips.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
The train gives you a late slip?
Yeah.
It's delayed?
Yeah.
For the
people who
evil
show their
bosses
Yes,
that-
exactly. Have you not seen it on the stream? This has happened any number of times. He brings them the late slip and shows
Late
it to the
slip.
screen. And it's a little thing. The guys at the exit are waiting because they know the train's late.
So they're like,
And they've got them all punched with it. There's a punch. It's 5, 10, I forget the numbers, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And the guys are quickly punching them and passing them out to all the people who ask for one. Cameron doesn't normally ask for one, but he's brought it here a few times just for fun, just to show us. A late slip for your teacher. There he is.
here he is. Good morning, Cameron.
We were just talking about train late slips again.
Oh,
Wonder what train's okay.
Yep, seems okay.
Bye, stream. I'm going to get to work.
Oh,
Also over the chair. Okay. Hi.
I don't think Karen moved the camera. I don't know what's up there. Another dreary day.
indeed.
That's what you get for spring.
Yep. Spring.
If you are coming down again, Karen, before the stream finishes, bring your cherry block and show us, please.
Oh,
Or even, if you
Right.
don't mind, yeah, bring it and show us, please. We had the peel story. She says she peeled yesterday,
Yes.
but
I saw it. I just didn't record
I
it.
didn't see it. But we just showed the stream the leftover,
Yeah.
the what's it called, the results,
The
results.
the remains. That's
The
it,
remains.
is what it is. If you got a minute, Karen, show us your block, please.
Okay.
You know, so
Go.
are the footsteps audible? There's your one. Bump, bump.
I
Did you hear
can
that?
hear 'em. Can
She's
you
gonna-
guys hear them?
Well, she's going to come back down in a minute, bring
Yeah.
that block. So. We were chatting about that. Are the footsteps audible on the stream?
Was she reading through a lot of the chat and answering questions?
A little bit. We're talking about a new video game, or a new old video game. She was answering a bit. I don't know if it's on card.
It wasn't missed. Different video game, Riven or something.
It's funny. She sat down at first, you know, and she reads the chat a bit, and she reached out to the computer screen. She's
Yeah.
going to type something. I said, Karen, you don't have to type your answer. You could talk.
You
know?
can just
Oh,
talk.
that's okay. Because she's used to being in a situation where
right.
she reads it and types and reads it and types. And,
Yep. Said, yep, the steps were audible. according to Cody. Did you guys start streaming before using YouTube? No, YouTube came long before.
Yeah, that's 10 years or so long. Yes. Streaming, it's nearly 2 years now. We started in August
Yeah. August
2017.
Someone asked, is that still cherry? It looks awfully light colored.
No, this is boxwood, and I'm not totally happy with this. This is a new type of boxwood for us, one that John Sand sourced in Hong Kong.
Huh.
And it's very smooth, it's beautifully smooth. It's like literally if somebody firmed up some butter. Maybe
That's
put
what it
some
looks
butter,
like.
Put some butter in the freezer or something and put it punched on top and give it to me. I think that's what it would be like. But I don't think it's hard enough.
Really? Interesting.
Here's the footsteps.
Welcome back.
So we put it down here?
Oh, you got started.
I got
Yes,
started
yes,
yesterday.
yes. I'm not sure where I am here.
There it is. It got in focus. Dave's slices on the box would make it look like balsa. The way you're going straight to it. But
Look what we've got here. We've got a piece of cherry wood. Upstairs, we've got offcuts. Sometimes we, whatever, the larger sizes we start with. This might have been a block for Ukiyo Heroes. We cut it down for a Japan Journey. So we got a whole bunch of these, dozens of them upstairs.
Yeah.
I think you were going to talk about them on stream one day if somebody wants to try carving cherry or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Pay
We
for
have
postage,
some
whatever.
little
Anyway,
slices.
Karen asked, and we said, I didn't even know where they were, but Aoyama-san, Deshaun, let's turn them up. So she's got a couple of pieces of this. It's not rock hard cherry. It's not the really super hard stuff that would be best for key blocks.
right.
But actually, it's not so bad for someone like Karen to start with because it means you can try carving lines and you're not going to spend 99% of your time sharpening because the knife broke. Did you have any breakages while you were doing this yet?
None at all.
None at all. So great.
But you can see the lines aren't very deep. And I'm careful. I'm tentative.
Anything you want to point out about this? What's the deal? So this is something you drew
Yesterday.
right? So
Yeah.
she was doing art in our shop. Oh, we couldn't wait. We said, "Oh my God, look over there! Someone's doing art." So, what do you want to tell us
It's
about?
from a photo that I took of a heron in Ohori Park in Fukuoka several years ago. And
You're on the camera. I'm not sure if you're visible. But...
If I,
oh yeah,
she
if you
is.
duck. And he's thinking of steak. He's tired of fish. He's dreaming of a nice juicy steak.
We can't see that really very well.
You can't. You can't.
And you call this a 10 peel? I can't even see what's on the block here. I mean,
Well, it's because I did it in pencil.
Soka. Yeah, actually, we thought about that before you pasted it down. And that's what
Yeah,
this
that's what
was.
the
This was
test
the
was, to
test
see if
at the
pencil
back.
would be
Okay,
visible.
right. Yeah, with the testing, can I play just for a bit here with a piece of
Sure,
with a
sure.
bit of oil? So even though she's drawn it here in pencil and peeled off the back, a bit of oil
Make
will
it
bring
nice
it up.
and rich,
Will bring
yeah.
it up. But the problem, you have to be really careful with this. You wouldn't oil the whole thing because oil is liquid and it will,
Well,
it's like
it's
water.
also water resistant too, right? I mean, it'll prevent water from soaking into that part of the block if there's too
No,
much
it's
on
not
it.
enough. It'll just.
Oh, okay.
But my point is, this starts to come off. So if you oil your whole thing, you're carving, rubbing with your hand. You're just going to find there's a ball patch because you wiped it off.
Oh,
The oil
only do a
will-
little at a
the
time.
scoop. So only do a little at a time, just enough that you're going to do in the next few minutes.
yeah.
But yeah, it turns the paper totally transparent. That's what oil does, obviously. So is that a pencil mark even, or is that a pen mark?
That's pencil.
That's pencil. So come up
And,
to
and yeah, those are pen. And those are pencil.
Very cool.
So have you been oiling it bit by bit as you've been doing it, or not bothered?
I
'Cause you can see it.
haven't. There's a few areas where I think I'll need to just to make sure what I'm seeing.
And then you're doing it the David style. Like traditional printers would never do this. They will never carve a bit of line and get the ice key out and clear it away. The traditional printer touches one tool only first, carves all traditional carver, did I say traditional printer? Traditional carver grabs his knife and will cut all the lines, never touching another tool until it's all done.
Wow.
Then he switches to stage 2, the big tools, the scooper tools, and then to stage 3, the ice key. Now I do, as you've seen what I'm doing, I've been playing already with 2 tools, and I do it this way myself.
Yeah.
Because I like to work by zones.
I was just curious
Yeah, but just so
how
you know, that's not the way they
how
do it.
the ice key would work on this wood. I think I need to sharpen mine a little bit.
Looking good. No big chips and cracks and pops.
Nope. I think I did shave off. Oh,
Ooh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Earthquake.
Steve.
Earthquake,
Sorry about
earthquake,
that.
earthquake. Quick.
I shaved off the top of that line. I slipped once only.
I think also what you're doing here, you're going to work right to the edge of the block, and normally we would never do that.
It's just so small. I'm not going to use the whole face of the block. Yeah, I might lose some of the
Probably
edges.
so. You cut when you're at the end. Absolutely cut in from the outside.
Yes.
rather
Oh,
than
yeah.
from the
Yeah,
inside.
definitely. And then I'll build
Outside Kento or something.
an outside
yeah,
Kenta
yeah, okay.
to print with.
Looking good. Looks like fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, beautiful design. Show us when you're done, Karen.
Okay.
Tomorrow
Have
the
to-
section.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. All right.
Yeah.
Gotta get busy.
Yep. Yeah. Where's the Kento on that block? Yes, it's going to be an outside one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not present.
Put on
yet.
the edge. Yeah. Cool. It almost looks like Arabic from here. The text here carving.
Yeah, if you turn it sideways or something. Yeah. So
What is this for? I haven't seen.
this is the Hanami Cats, and I asked them to check if they go to Jed's website, ukiyohairs.com, go to the Jikle section and look up Hanami Cats. There's a translation,
Okay.
transliteration, whatever of what this says, and I don't even know. I'm sorry. And that's interesting. As a carver, I'm going to carve this. I won't be able to read it.
Yeah.
I've got to qualify that statement saying I do understand things about stroke order and things like that.
Yeah.
So I will be following, for example, this here, I'll be following the stroke order, recognizing that it comes down, up, around, down, and here. If you don't know the stroke order, you get in trouble in the corners because you make it look like it goes.
Different direction.
If you don't know, you might think it goes here, up and around, and then down, and then a circle. That's not the way it works. See?
Right.
So you've got to understand enough about the stuff to know how the brush flowed when it was being written.
Right.
But reading the meaning, that's a different story. So. Excuse me, sorry, I got a concoction.
Bless you. Guess I wasn't listening. But.
The fans are roaring over there on the machine.
Yeah. Well, the CPU is only around 20% usage. I guess it's often around 13 or 14 though. Did you crank it back up to 1080p or?
No, I haven't touched it.
Okay.
I shut down Safari, which chronically causes problems in the background.
Yeah.
Safari web content. I think we're okay. So what's your plan? You got a ton of work done yesterday, right? Paperwork all out of the way, I think.
Yes, a lot of things cleaned up.
What's
So,
on the menu today?
it's probably expense entry. Oh, let me see what that is. Expenses, perhaps other paperwork, but we'll see. もしもし、僕半館で。
Morning phone call. That almost always means a party cancellation.
もう一度お願いします。声がちょっと遠いんですが。プリントパーティー、釣り体験でしょうか。申し訳ないですが、今日はもう満員ですが。 そうですね、満席ですね。はい。はい、すみません。ありがとうございま
It's
す。
a request for a print party. You gotta be kidding. Middle of April, phone and ask if one the same day. No chance. No,
Today is
chance.
packed. I didn't think you'd want to be adding extra
No,
time
no, no,
after
no,
all
no,
these
no,
full
no, no,
flats
no, no.
already.
Book him in at 9 tonight. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you.
The connection down here. Just
Oh, that reminds me too.
Japanese.
We've got to start to work on that. Those phones are soon going to be deprecated, so we
They
start
are.
to think about Plan B, what to do.
iPhone 10s? No, I'm just kidding. Thousands of dollars on
But
phones.
now,
we use for-
presumably, landlines are going to be disappearing, right? So, what is the actual? What should we be doing? I mean, what do big companies do? Like, what does the bank down the street do? They've got a phone and like 50 employees all at different desks. They've got
Right.
a phone with a PBX system and stuff like
Yeah.
that. What should we be doing here? I don't even know. What's the future for telephones? These things have been awful. The sound quality is so crappy with these. You know. When I was a kid, phones were okay, but then bit by bit, the sound quality became wonderful. I mean, it was wired, a wired world before
Right.
before the net. You know, telephone quality was wonderful,
Yeah.
and now it's crap.
Yeah. They're saying internet phones, VoIP, or VoIP, is that how you say it? But, what's happening to landlines in Japan? I think they'll still exist, but a lot of people just don't use them. You can't
Well,
carry them across the building when you say,
but
"Oh,
we've
I'll
got
go get Dave." And head
there's
up to
still
the
a
third
legal
floor.
mandate. NTT, of course, has a legal mandate to supply that service to every hamlet on this in the country.
Yeah.
That's still a legal thing. I think it probably is in many, many countries. You know.
Yeah.
They'd like to drop the service to the outlying areas, but the government is, of course, holding their feet to the fire. You know,
Yeah.
they want to run it just in Tokyo and Osaka or something like that. Of
Yeah.
course. So I don't know. I'm really the service we're getting is awful as it is, and that PHS thing,
Yeah.
is
Going out.
end of life.
Yeah.
I guess there really is only one answer. That's what people are saying. It's going to be internet telephony. But oh my God.
My father owns an electrician business here in the States, and all the businesses are going to
VoIP, yeah, of course. I mean, there is no other actual option, of course. Once landlines are gone.
fax machines still exist in Japan. Landlines aren't going anywhere.
Well, they are going anywhere because it just becomes when nobody's using them. Once only 1% of the population is still connected, then no,
Yeah.
the system can't be maintained. So
A lot of businesses still use them though.
well, because the structure, like I said, a giant office tower full of all those people, you
Yeah.
need that thing. But we should start to think about it. Also, I wrote an email last night to you to remind me today, or I'm reminding you to remind me to remind you that we got to do this. The email change. It's happening any minute now. It's happening over
yeah.
the server.
Yep.
We didn't do anything about it yet, and any minute my email is going to
Your
disappear.
update on this
What else?
computer?
So I know what to do about that, but what other machines do we need to do, and what's going to happen? The computer upstairs that you're doing the subscription bookkeeping on.
Right.
What other mail is that getting? Because we fixed it now so that the mail will still come through.
Yeah. It collects lots of other mail.
But you don't actually use it.
Yeah, I don't use it for anything else.
So, because all the Mokohankan mail now is all the Mokohankan mail IMAP? I think so, but I'm not.
so
That's
too,
so.
except for
But
the-
I'm saying
except
this
for
with
your
a
own
little
computer,
hesitation.
Yeah.
Anyway, please let's have a think about that and to see what's going to happen because it's going to go down anyway. They said March/April,
Yeah.
and we're now partway through April, and they sent another reminder today about this pending change. So I guess it's this machine that will be the first one. I'll try and get mail in 5 minutes from now, and it won't do it. Upgrades and dependencies, everybody's favorite topic.
The The Last Known God says, I dated a girl in Tokyo who never got a company email address. She got her work schedule faxed to her. My brain exploded when I heard that.
What year are we talking about? Like last week?
Yeah.
I think that's now disappearing pretty quickly.
Yeah. Although sometimes still when we order things from companies, they say, oh, can you fax the order to me?
Yeah,
It's like, no, I'm sorry, we don't have a fax machine. Like, okay, let me go find out what email address you should use. Because they
Don't know.
don't know their own email address.
But there is, that system is in place. I mean,
Yeah.
There is plan B there.
Mm-hmm. Crudmud says, I'm studying this in my...
What?
That's someone's name,
What's that?
Crudmud. I'm studying this in my degree right now, the quality of signals over wires, digital versus analog. They were talking about how you mentioned the phone call signals were getting worse.
Yeah, I used to be able to hear people on the phone, and now I'm struggling. Every single phone call that comes in, I'm struggling.
Yeah. Is it because we're at the bottom of a 3-floor concrete
I don't
building,
know.
or...
No idea. Even if you just take it near the front door, it just still doesn't seem to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an end-of-life system, so what do you expect? You know?
But are these PHS phones, are they using different towers
I
than
haven't any idea. Don't
the
have a
other
clue.
things? Because it
No idea.
could be related to that. Maybe there are
What's the different
newer
frequency
models of
or-
flip phones that run on different towers and different signals.
What's the opposite to the 5G thing? I mean, 1G or something? I don't know how it works. I'm sorry. There's
Recording
different-
gummies causing trouble.
Maybe Deja. She's so soft-footed. I heard the door,
The
but I
mouse.
can't hear her. She's a mouse, exactly. So.
Recording gummies causing trouble. He said it's not the phone's getting worse, it's age making it hard
There
to
is
hear.
that too. There is that too. Absolutely. And I can even tell straight when we got these things a while after I've got my phone and I can't find how to adjust the volume.
Yeah.
And there are. You look at the guide. There's a volume adjustment, and I cannot find it anywhere. And to finish a phone call, I couldn't hear the guy, so I get the phone down. Where's the button? Go to all the menu, and there's menu after menu after menu after menu, and nowhere is the adjustable. And it turns out it's a secret system that only works while you're talking to somebody. And the left and right arrows that do the navigation through the menu when you're off the phone work as volume adjusters when you're on a call, but they don't work when you're off a call.
Yep.
And it's not documented anywhere. I even had to go to our distributor, the place we got the phones.
Yeah.
He looks at me like, "How old are you?" You know?
How? People still have those flip phones? Yeah, they're coming here.
Yeah, I've got one, and I'm not in. If it wasn't forced on me by the fact that they're becoming deprecated next year, I would keep it. I do not want a smartphone. You know, I'm not a Luddite. We're doing pretty well with the internet and computers and social media, but I do not want one of those things in my pocket. The thing they call a smartphone. It's a physical drug. We all know that by now. We can clearly see that.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 50% sure of my ability to be immune to that drug. So I'd rather, as much as, well, it sounds silly, I'd rather live my life analog. But that's bullshit because I'm here on this computer 99 hours a day. So, but that particular one, as much as possible, I want to keep away from it.
Someone said, what's Mr. Bull working on now? Sharpening his knife. John Becker beat us to it. So, with the boxwood, is it definitely using... or what's the word? Dulling your blade faster than...
No, just it's ready to be sharpened. And
Okay.
It's just ready for sharpening, just as a natural course. It's not chipped, it's just underneath sharpening. And what I did was, if I had sharpened it first this morning, it makes no sense because I'm just sort of wasting these cuts to go around. So it didn't matter that my knife was a bit dull to do that clearing work. But now that we're going to get on the real lines, absolutely. But this is not a broken knife. This is not because of boxwood. It's just time to sharpen. So,
Okay.
in fact, I looked at the clock there. Should I just chat a bit more and clear a bit more, waste time, and just go away? No. What time is it? About 9 o'clock?
9:10. Yeah.
I think this is a bit of a misleading thing that happens on these streams, is because whenever it gets broken, click, I have to sharpen right away.
Yeah.
Whereas the generic, general maintenance sharpening doesn't get seen on the stream.
Not very often.
So people just see, oh my God, they broke his knife, he's going to sharpen it. They
Yeah.
don't see normal sharpening, you know.
Right.
So. It's the same sharpening, but I'm not starting on the hard stone. We have 3 levels, the hard, medium, fine. Because it's not broken, I don't need to cut metal away so much. So I'm going to start on the medium stone. So. But no, this is not, oh my God, Dave's sharpening, he must have broken his knife. It's not always like that, you know. So. Not always like that. I am hungry. I missed breakfast this morning. Blame it on Jed.
Blame it on Jed.
Yeah, he Skyped me just at that.
Talking about next design. So.
Yeah.
Oh, fun. I think.
I'm happy. I'm happy to see the guy sitting at his computer drawing and drawing and drawing. That's what we
good.
want.
Good.
Kids don't do this at home.
Interesting. Usually don't notice the difference, but when you're moving quickly like that, I can see a slight time difference between the two video streams. Yeah. So your arm in one frame is way up in the front, in the other screen, yeah, in the back. What sort of steel are your knives made of? Metal steel? Yeah.
I'm not sure what I can say in the word steel. It's, there's 2 kinds of steel, of course.
Yeah.
Quote hard steel and quote soft steel. High carbon steel for the edge that carries the sharpness, and lower carbon steel for the strength to back up. Because high carbon steels are very brittle and they will snap easily. Okay. So this is the old traditional quote unquote sword making technique of Japan. Okay. Nearly every blade made in this country, for kitchen knives, for swords, for wood carving, for chisels, whatever, nearly every blade in this country is made with a higher carbon hard steel for the blade edge and a lower carbon soft steel for the backup. It's just the way Japanese blacksmithing works. Some tools may have a triple. It may be the hard steel in the middle. Maybe swords are like this because they beveled at both sides, I think. I'm not quite sure how that works. But because our tools are beveled only on one side, it's a 2-layer process. If you've got a tool that needs to be beveled at both sides, you will have a hard steel sandwiched in the middle between them. So our tools are a very small, tiny version of the same kind of things that are made to make swords, actually. Yeah, without wanting to get all heavy and philosophical about it. And the old carvers, one of the first carvers I met didn't do anything for me, but Ogura-san, he didn't actually talk to me much. But his term for the carving knife was kogatama.
Give it a little sword.
A little sword.
When I sharpen, I have trouble keeping the angle consistent. I
You and
always
me
have a
both,
bit of a
Buck.
curve.
You and me both. You and me both. Next question. I know with bigger stuff, like with plain blades, whenever you get these roller attachments and you roll them back and forth, you know, of course. With a little blade like this, and it's at an angle, I could devise some kind of roller, but the reason I don't is because if I did, then I would totally lose all ability to do this by myself, and you become dependent on the roller. So I'm trying to do it by hand, and I'm not perfect at it. And in fact, what I did today, you might have seen it. I went the first, 20, 40, 50 strokes, looked at it, and oops, I had actually got a bevel here. I had done part of it, I'm going to exaggerate. I had part of it at some kind of an angle like this, and part of it at some kind of an angle like this. I actually had two faces. Oops, hope the stream didn't see that. I thought to myself, and went back and fixed it. So yeah, I'm not perfect at this. And that is the single biggest difficult thing, keeping it flat. And you have two choices. You can hack away at it and keep thinking and trying and working on it yourself until you get good at it, or you can use a mechanical aid.
Yeah.
And I chose this way, no mechanical aids. And I still, even after all these years, I still sometimes don't get it flat, And on this stone, I'm cheating. You can't see it, but my finger is rubbing on the stone. Look at this. I'm polishing my finger. It's trying to keep my knife flat here. I can't do that on the strong stone, or we'll just leave a streak of blood as we go up and down the stone. But on this one, it doesn't matter. So I'm rubbing. This is a 2-point stance here. I've got the knife and my finger behind it, both rubbing along the stone. Am I supposed to admit I did that? Sharpening is one of those things they treat like black arts, but whatever. Just rub a piece of steel on a stone and it gets sharper. That's all. I'm not a fanatic about it. Two, the wood we're using generally is so hard, and we're treating our knife badly by the fact we curve and curve and curve and curve and curve. So no matter how well you sharpen, within the first few seconds you've lost it's crumbled away the edge.
Yeah. So
we're not looking for what do they call scary sharp? The guys like a barber or something. Needs to do that. And even right now, I've done the bevel, I've done the back, and I'm now going to take off the edge. I'm going to kill the edge of this. I'm going to lift this up a little bit, whatever it is, 10, 15 degrees, and take a couple of passes. 1, 2, and that has shaved off the actual edge, the edge. We've now got the main bevel here, and we have a smaller slight bevel on the back now, and it's actually taken away the absolute finest edge.
Because it would have come away after the first 2 seconds.
During the first stroke, it would crumble and crackle and chip off bigger bits. We're still talking microscopically.
Right.
So by taking it off here, I'm going to give myself an extra. It gives myself some. It lasts longer down the other end. So it sounds counterintuitive. And there may be, if I'm doing the ultimate tiny hair carving on a super thin line, and I know I'm not going to be turning corners or something, we could leave it. Sharpen the bevel, sharpen the back, leave it right there, and then do my one line for the hair. But I'm going to start turning corners right away here. There's no way that edge would just crumble it.
What was the grit of that last stone?
I don't know. Next question, please. All I know about the numbers on these is, in recent years, I'm using, the rough one I'm using is a 400. Seems about right. It cuts metal really fast on this thing. Takes it away. I only use it for a few seconds. The middle one is 1,000. But if you'd have asked me to guess what it was, I would have guessed 1,200 or something. So 1,000 around 1,200. And then the natural stone that I use for the other one is, and I honestly don't know anything about the numbers on this. I would have bought it years ago just in the shop looking and feeding it some stones. That one tries right. I actually had a bunch of these at home. I bought a few. This one doesn't seem to work out. Oh, this one feels nice. But I do not know what number it is. All I can say is that it feels like a marble flooring slab. And once you put water on it, there's no way I can detect. As you saw, my finger was sliding on that thing, and it hasn't damaged my skin in any way whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't know. 8,000, something like this? I'm just making noise because I don't know.
Okay. Thanks.
And again, with the work we do, our chisels are all so small, and the physical amount of steel that we are cutting away is so tiny, it really, I can't say it doesn't matter, whatever, you just need normal, average stones. You know. Shimano-sama, I saw him working with his big plane blades that are like 10, 15 centimeters wide, and they had to be absolutely flat over a long period. This guy, he ordered stones from not just a certain quarry, but from a certain strata in a certain quarry. Experts that know about this, that's how deep they get. And it's easy to say, come on, you can't tell the difference. He felt he could tell the difference, and I'll just stand back and listen. You know. A certain quarry, a certain strata within a quarry. Wow. And he had a row of planes. He used to keep 5 or 6 at the side of his bench, and he kept them all in absolutely perfect condition, of course, because we had to get a mirror surface on grain that would be up grain, down grain, up grain, down grain. So he's working at a level that I do not even comprehend. I don't even pretend.
Yeah.
And part of it is because my personality, and part of it is because we don't need that level of supreme craftsmanship, because there's so little metal being cut off here.
Dig into these lines.
A few sample strokes before it's time to sign off. I guess I don't know. Just zoom in. So find my mark.
Okay, you got it. I think they say it goes to 65 times zoom. That's crazy.
That's digital to show. Is it optical?
I don't know.
It just means they're pixelating it.
Dynamic zoom, whatever that means.
That'll be just pixelating. It doesn't. It can't. It's like the what do they call it in the Tom Cruise movies? Whatever. Enhance. They take some video feed and enhance it to like looking at bugs walking along. Where did those pixels come from? I know Photoshop does some pretty cool things. You know, when you erase part of a Photoshop picture and Photoshop creates this stuff in between, you know, you erase a tree and it puts a mountain in the background and stuff. Yeah. Where did those pixels come from?
AI.
Did you see the new one? It was in my feed, on my reading feed about a week ago. Some AI software. I forget what company was doing it. And what you do is you sit there and you sketch. Okay, mountain, and you just simply blur. You want to triangle the mountain. Then you blur the ocean. Then there's the sky, tree.
And it's just broad brushstrokes.
Yeah, nothing. Just it's zones. Did you see that one last week?
Yeah,
that was the software.
wild.
And I'm like, wait a minute, what? So how does
Made
that
by
work?
NVIDIA, I think. The
who is it?
Company NVIDIA, I think.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah. The graphics card company.
Yeah, the
yes, I
graphics
remember
card
that. Yeah,
company.
that's all. So. Well, what I wanted to see, which they didn't show, because it's easy to do a demo video when you're running your own demo.
Right.
What I would have liked to see is, okay, we do that. Draw a triangle here, mountain here, tree here, lake here. There's the result. Good. Now, reboot the software, start again, draw the same mountain, the same lake, the same thing. How different was it?
Yeah.
Is it just it's just going to bring up the same thing again? Is it always the same tree you get?
Right.
I would have liked to dig in a bit more. And, you know.
In the article, they said that it has dynamically generates new things every time, but it would be interesting to test it and see how different they really are.
And the next joke about that is, of course, what you got to do for the demo. The guy should have got an easel ready, which was a tablet, and he should have got an afro. And we're going to put a happy little tree. I mean, he could have really made a really fun demo, but I guess the message was
Showan021592. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, but they got a link from NVIDIA to show people who are interested. Thanks.
And the other joke is, I didn't send that to Jed because it's just not worth the cheap joke. Hey Jed, we don't need you anymore. Goodbye. You know? I like drawing a mountain and a tree is a little bit different from what we're doing, but it was just. But I resisted having the cheap shot there, so it's okay.
So I appreciate the attempt. Thanks.
Oh, Jed's there?
No, it's saying his name. The guy who sent the link. XOUWAN. Ever tried sizing with gelatin, or any tips for those that would?
Well, gelatin is what we use. I mean, you mean like the supermarket gelatin? No, because I don't know what's in it, but it's basically part of the same stuff. It's collagen taken from animal proteins or whatever. I don't know, I'm sorry.
Oh.
And to speak about sizing, oh my God, I don't want to hear. I got emails last night from Kubota-san and Natsuki-san, Sugi-san,
Yeah.
the last batch. Kubota-san was like, oh my God, what have you done?
Oh no, the last batch didn't work out so well.
No, I got to talk to him because the 2 previous batches I did for him were all too hard.
Yeah.
So you know where the story's going. I softened it up. I dropped the
And it was too
mixed
much.
up, and now it's too soft.
Got the name from a Star Wars book. Is it from any of the Timothy Zahn Star Wars books or something?
Oh.
I used to read some Star Wars novels as a kid too, so I'm curious where that name's from. But
Oh, the Prison's Handle.
yeah, the
I
Prison's
get you. So because we did a lot of clearing first now to carve the edge here, I can just teeny tiny. If I was trying to do this first on a flat block of wood, there's no way I could get all these little ripples. And, this is not just smooth strokes. I'm trying to catch all, and there's scratch carving in here. My God. I don't know how much this is going to come out in the finished print because it's such a small scale, you know.
Yeah.
I can see it under the scope, and the wood is hard. I can carve it, but at printing time, Sugi-san's just going to look at me and say,
You kidding?
what do you expect me to do with this? You know? But because of this, there's a separate advantage now to having this on a separate block, in that she can print the main key block, dollops and dollops of pigment, bang, 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 where she goes. This can be treated with super kid gloves.
I'm trying to sort out my ratios. No way to get my hands on Nikawa or Sanzen bone or whatever the good stuff is. So I'm doing lots of experimentation.
Yeah, that's all you can do. I'm sorry, I really
That's
don't
what
know.
we do here too.
Nothing I can say. I would imagine in general the kind of gelatin stuff that you get in your supermarket for making things like jellies and stuff, I would imagine it's quite a bit weaker in concentrate than the stuff we use. So if you're looking at Dave's formula of 35 grams per blah, 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 you might probably need quite a bit more than that. But that's only a guess. I don't know. And then if you have no experience doing it, you get the same problem. How do you know what's good and what's bad? You know, because if you're not an experienced printer, you still don't know what to expect. So.
Yeah.
Please enjoy the process because it's going to be a while.
Yeah. Tried a few places, but Amazon tends to be lackluster for printmaking supplies in the US at least.
But is Nikawa not available on a place like Amazon.com? Are you really? There's another footstep.
Just thanks, Corin Gummy. He's got some ideas and suggestions. It's Audrey.
Oh, it's Wednesday. Soka. Good morning. How you doing?
Hello.
Good morning, everyone.
Busy parties today.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Flag or no flag?
Oh yeah.
Flag or no flag?
Flag. Yep.
Rainy all morning. Last night was such a nice evening. It was so clear, and then I wake up this morning.
Springtime. It's okay.
Yep. Yeah. That's your cutting it, baby. This doesn't look like wood. It just, like you said, it's so buttery.
It's like butter, yeah.
Yeah. I don't see chips or anything. It's just like you're cutting through butter. It's kind of cool.
But maybe the scale we're working at here, you know.
Yeah. Lucky you, I had snow all day today. Where are you? Where is it snowing? As far as appropriate amounts of alum, what indicates too much or too little?
If the surface of the finished paper has the shiny, speckly stuff on it, you've got too much in there. If at printing time, if the colors blot out like blotting paper, if they start spreading over the lines, you don't have enough.
Okay. Oh, Canada. That's where it snows. Exactly my issue then. With the alum. Alum, yeah, is that how you say it?
What, speckles, purples?
I didn't say. Yeah. Too much alum can also degrade paper, according.
I guess I've heard that too. But the sparkly thing, it's not just the appearance. The pigments will no longer go down into the paper as the way they should. So it blocks the pigments from coming in.
Got it.
So it's same action. Not enough of it, too much pigment goes in, it smears around. Too much of it, the pigments won't go down into the paper.
You mentioned this boxwood is from China. How does the price compare with
I have no idea. I don't know anything about that. Johnson just gave me this piece and said, here, let's try this stuff. So I don't really know, I'm sorry. It would obviously be much, much cheaper, I presume, because the Mikurajima boxwood is very expensive. But I honestly don't know.
So,
Were you there the other day when we opened the box of this stuff and I grabbed this? That's mine!
Yes.
And Johnson, I didn't say anything, but he's the one who supplied the wood, you know.
Yeah.
So, he's a good kid. He's a good guy. You know, so.
yeah.
This is the way it's going to go for the next couple of days. It's easy, peaceful work. It's nothing here. You know.
Yeah. I don't know why I just thought of this, and I know it's the end of the stream, but I did some research, some further research on using the DSLR, your Canon camera, as a video camera. It sounds, or the issue you had
As a
was,
video, you mean through the microscope or just
through this, or just general streaming. Sounds like it always turned off after half an hour. Is that right?
No, that's a separate issue. When we are making movies, video recording, DSLRs are programmed so that they will not record a single thing more than 30 minutes. It's nothing to do with the microscope issue.
Right, yeah, not the microscope though. I mean, just mean setting it on the tripod and trying to stream for half an hour. Did it?
Well, no, that's okay. That's okay.
It ran.
won't record.
Yeah, it won't record. Okay, so it would let you stream.
Yeah, no problem here. I could do that.
Okay.
That's no problem.
Got it.
But once you hit the record button, that's it. It will not longer. It won't go more than 29.59.
Yeah.
29:59.
Yeah.
And that's a legal limitation.
Yeah.
No, different issue. We're mixing up different issues.
Yeah. I thought you were having the same issue also while streaming, because I knew about it for the recording. Okay. On my first sizing batch, I've seen a bit of sparkling on some parts of the paper. Also, the pigment can seem somewhat blurry or bleed through the page. And also, the back of the page can get a bit tattered by the bottom. I think too much alum and too little sizing. All sorts of difficulties, it sounds like. Yeah. Keep experimenting. And it is 9:35, by the way.
Whatever, if they don't, it could be the party people. Just true, man. Because they may be looking at signs. It says from 10 o'clock, so they might be hesitant to come in.
We won't look. Good morning. Welcome. Hi. You here for a print party or just looking around?
Go and wait outside in the rain. Come on in, sir.
Yeah. Come on,
It'll be in the back room down there.
Cool. The Wells or the Bear?
All Wells.
Okay.
That's me.
All
It's
right.
pretty enthusiastic, half an hour early.
Yeah. We have 2 more people coming a little bit later. Cool. Look around.
Oh,
I'll do this. Hi, Mom. Would like Matsumura. You already sent it.
And what?
Something for.
She ordered one knife.
Yeah.
That's all, man. That's the Nishikiban shipping boxes.
Oops.
Oh, I know what he must have sent us. He must have sent us a whole batch of catalogs.
Hi. Oh, yeah.
Did I screw up the phone conversation? Yes, I said one, right?
Yeah, I think so. But
And he hesitated. And I thought, like, I need one. Just send one. We don't have one. And he hesitated. So maybe he thought I asked him for 100 or something.
box of them. It's heavy. Should I find
That
out?
must be what it
Might
is.
do this later.
Was my Japanese that bad? You heard the
No.
conversation.
No, it sounded fine to me. But I got hung up on by the same people.
Yeah. They're a bit funny people, those guys. you know? So now he thinks I'm a jerk, so I asked him for like 5,000 copies of the catalog or something. I don't think I did. I asked for one.
Yeah. What did you order?
Well, that must be what it is. He was going to send Karen's chisel, and I asked for a copy of the catalog. What I thought was a copy of the catalog.
Right.
Japan having no plurals, I get it. There's a level of but
ambiguity.
I said, he sets it in leadership.
Yeah.
So he said, because I said, even only one would be okay, that's implying that you really want 10,000 or something? I don't know. Japanese, I don't know. So I should have said, Isatsu-daki kudasai. Kana?
Yeah. Let's see what else is in
Well, that's what it is. It must be her chisel on top. It's bumpy. And then catalogs.
Charge us for all these catalogs too.
Considering the number of people we send over to his shop every day of the freaking week. Is that an official unboxing camera? I don't think so, right?
No. Here's the ceramic whetstone. But it could just be the blade. Yeah, looks like it.
That's for
So,
Karen. Yeah.
Karen will be happy. Paper and you're exactly right. Anyone need a catalog?
Well, no, I mean, this actually makes sense because we do have many, many Western printmakers coming through here. So, okay, so let's keep them under the counter and
We've got 2 sets like this.
Okay.
2 packets of them.
wonderful.
All right.
I just curious why he was hesitant, that's all, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we should mention this on the stream now, but Matsumoto-san, for the first time ever, has a physically printed English catalog. Up to now, it's been a PDF file.
Right.
And does he have something on the website? Please write and get one, or will he mail them out to people, or does he sell them? I don't know.
Yeah.
Are we on the stream? Are you watching anything there? Is it all right? I don't know.
Go around the block distributing those catalogs.
Yeah, right.
Maybe they just saw this as a good promotion opportunity.
Well, I hope
Get
so.
Dave to hand out all the
Of course. Yeah. Sort of know you guys there. You okay?
Yeah, we're good.
Do you, I know, how do you know about our work? What brought you here? What's the...
How did we find out about this? You were interested, weren't you? So, Sandy, my wife, she's an art teacher.
So just Googled up activities in Tokyo or something? Okay, all right. So do you know about our social media activities and YouTube videos and stuff like that, or
I
nothing?
haven't
Blank
seen
stares?
it, no.
Okay. Just so you know, we're live streaming at the moment, actually. Every word you say is being broadcast live around the world. We do a stream every morning. We turn the camera on while I'm carving. We do about 90 minutes, and people generally watch what's going on. We'll be shutting this down, I think, any minute, sir, because we're just about at the end of time here. So.
Someone ordered something from him and said, I received the catalog with the shipment the other day. So he's handing them out to people in the
Okay,
back.
good,
So that
good. Yeah.
see them. Catalog. Cool.
So is it time to put this down? I've got to go help Audrey get the party room ready.
Sounds good.
Good. What's the schedule here? Obviously, you can see what's going on. I'll be here on this block for a few days. So tomorrow's stream, the day after stream will probably be the same thing. Although I do have to do more sizing sometime this week before the weekend. I might do it at night by myself, or I might do it on stream one day. Who knows?
Sounds good. We will.
Gonna sign us off?
Yep.
Okay,
See you
back,
tomorrow.
same time, same station. See you tomorrow for more butter carving.
Okay.